What is up, guys? A very good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook. I was away for a few days for some health reasons, but I'm back and I've recorded some new videos. So we're going to be uploading some new videos to the channel, but also inside Discord. So make sure to join if you're not yet inside. So with that said, let's just dive into this market outlook. For today, euro dollar has been moving actually just really choppy already for quite some time now. Obviously, if we look at the daily time frame, the overall order flow is kind of still bearish in towards the downside. This is still, let's say, your overall buy for the sell, which we tapped into and kind of moved out of. Obviously, the overall daily time frame is bearish, so we are still looking for further downside. This is your swing high, this is your swing low. This was the previous swing low, and this was the previous swing high. So push down, pull back, push down, pull back, and now obviously we're waiting for a further continuation and further push down. Going into the weekly time frame real quick as well, we can also see that the weekly should continue to move down lower. Obviously, looking at this weekly time frame trend, swing high, swing low, so we should also on that time frame continue moving in towards the downside. Now going in towards the 4 hour, which is kind of our main time frame, what can we see on the 4 hour? Well, on the 4 hour we have also a bearish trend. Okay, so we have a low, we have a lower low, and once again we have a lower low. So at the moment the market has been ranging since the 14th of June, so for around 2 weeks or so. And as we can see, we're just stuck inside of this area of consolidation. So what has happened yesterday is that we swiped the overall swing low over here. So this is a liquidity grab. There was liquidity built up because this was the swing low. This low over here tried to take out that low, failed in doing so. What does that mean? Liquidity created. After that, what happened? This swing low swiped the lows, swiped the liquidity, straight away a reversal. Now we're heading into a decisive area of supply, which is this buy before the sell. From this buy before the sell zone, we should continue down lower. If we do not, and that buy before the sell zone fails, look for a continuation play and look to trade towards this overall swing high. Okay, because that is where liquidity is situated above, with a potential to push in towards this supply zone over here. So that's what I'm looking for on euro dollar. Going into the dollar index, obviously we've just been moving up higher, pretty much as expected with the overall 4 hour and daily trend. If we just look at order flow very simply, sell before the buy, we tap in. Then again, sell before the buy over here. What happens? We tap in and we move back out again. And now once again over here we have a sell before the buy, which we're now tapping into. So from here, still looking for further upside continuation, at least in towards around 106,500 next. Okay, so that is kind of like your liquidity high for now. So looking for a further continuation play in towards that high. Now continuing into AUDUSD, which is I think one of the rangiest pairs of them all. We can very clearly see that since the 15th of May, for around 1.5 months now, we've just been consolidating here on the daily, going towards the 4 hour, and we can see that that range trading tool is still doing its thing. The 75% mark is still acting as your resistance, but now we kind of have even a range within the overall range. So really not trading this pair too much, but we can very clearly see that the 75% mark is your resistance. So not focusing too much on this pair for now. The most recent kind of price action, what happened is that we had this fractal high. We then came back down in towards the sell for the buy, which broke that fractal high, and from there we're moving out again. Now we have a new area of demand created over here. So if you are very aggressive, you could look for long from there, but personally I am not trading AU. Going into pound dollar, so GBPUSD, what are we seeing over there? Obviously we're continuing down lower with that trade that I already mentioned last week. Overall, I mean, there was a lot of liquidity situated underneath this trend line. We grabbed that finally over here fully. And what's interesting to see is that after you grab that liquidity, you kind of reverse back in towards the highs pretty aggressively. But obviously, if we just look at the overall trend, so the trend is bearish. So we have lower low, lower low, lower low, lower high, lower high. So obviously we're looking for a trend continuation, at least in towards this area of demand over here. So that is pretty much just the play on the 4 hour, looking for further downside. And on the daily, that makes sense as well. This overall buy before the sell, that is from where we should continue down lower. At the moment, we're not really reacting to anything here on the left, so it does make sense to move at least in towards the overall imbalance over here. So yeah, looking for 12550 next. going into Kiwi dollar, so NZDUSD, what are we seeing over there? Yeah, also pretty much playing out what we mentioned last week, is that the longer you stay inside an area of demand, the weaker it gets. So yeah, what happened is that demand failed. So then, why did it fail? Well, because you're kind of like stuck inside the demand zone with any movement at all. So there's no real, what you want to see is like a V-shaped reversal like this. That indicates that there's supply within the market. Now, the longer that you stay inside that demand zone, the weaker it gets. So what happened? We broke through it. So now what I'm looking for is downside continuation, in towards this area of consolidation. So that is what I'm looking for next on Kiwi dollar. So looking for shorts. Going into gold, gold was an absolute beauty. If we look at the overall trend, you guys remember that the 4-hour kind of was bearish in towards the downside with a lower low, lower high. So we were expecting a new lower high as well over here. We grabbed the liquidity above this range, and now we're gonna very, very likely target at least this low of, what is it, 2286. So yeah, we grabbed the liquidity, we moved in towards this buy before the sell, and then from there we crashed down lower. So good to see, and now still looking for further downside to at least take out that low of 2286. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic day, and we'll speak soon.